The sound of an empty chair. There's a sound that only a broken family can hear. It's not the sound of shouting or slammed doors. It's the silence that follows. The silence at the dinner table where someone should be sitting. The silence in the living room where laughter used to live. The silence that grows louder every Christmas. Maybe this year, that silence lives in your home too. Maybe someone you love is no longer there. By choice, by distance, or by pain that words can't fix. And so, you sit staring at the glow of Christmas lights, wondering how something so bright can still feel so heavy. But what if, just what if, the God who came as a baby into a broken world still comes into broken homes too? What if Christmas was never meant to be perfect? What if it was meant to heal what's been shattered? Because that's what he does. He enters the mess. The silence. The spaces where love used to be. And whispers, I can make this whole again. The wounds we don't speak of. Every family has stories that never get told. Moments that sit between words. Memories that linger in the air like ghosts. The argument that ended everything. The phone call that never came. The apology that still feels stuck in someone's throat. We carry them quietly. These fractures, these heartbreaks. These invisible scars that shape our homes and our hearts. And every year, when Christmas comes, we try to decorate around them. We hang lights, bake cookies, wrap gifts, and pretend everything's fine. But deep down, there's a chair that no one sits in anymore. A conversation that's been missing for years. A love that used to feel simple, but now feels complicated. And yet, the story of Christmas isn't about perfect families. It's about broken ones. A young couple far from home. A child born into poverty. A world too busy to notice. It's about light entering chaos. Love entering conflict. Grace entering guilt. If God could bring peace to that night in Bethlehem, He can bring peace to your home too. The prayer that begins in silence. Lord, you see what no one else sees. You see the tension behind every smile. The distance behind every, I'm fine. You see the hurt we hide during the holidays. The family that no longer gathers. The words that went too far. The pride that built a wall too high. Tonight, Lord, I don't come pretending. I come empty. Hurt. Longing. Hoping that maybe, just maybe, you can do what we cannot. Bring peace where there's only distance. Bring healing where there's only hurt. Bring forgiveness where there's only silence. Because I can't fix this on my own. But you can. Amen. The story of a father and a door. There once was a father who hadn't spoken to his son in years. Too many words had been said. Too many things had gone wrong. Every Christmas, he would put up the tree. Turn on the lights. And tell himself he was fine. But every year, when he placed the star at the top, he would pause. Because it reminded him of something. A light that still shone far away. Over a son he still loved but didn't know how to reach. One year, he decided to write a letter. He didn't know what to say. So he wrote 3 words. I still care. He mailed it. Weeks passed. No answer. Christmas Eve came. He sat alone by the fire. Then came a knock on the door. When he opened it, his son was standing there. No speech. No grand apology. Just tears. And an embrace that said everything words could not. The father would later say, that was the year I realized Christmas wasn't about presents. It was about presence. Reflection, the God who stands at the door. Reconciliation doesn't always start with a plan. Sometimes, it starts with a whisper. A nudge to reach out. A small act of humility. A quiet decision to love again. That's how God restores. He doesn't rush. He waits. He stands at the door of every heart that's been hardened by pride. And softly knocks. Never forcing his way in. But never leaving either. That's why Jesus came. Not to fix the perfect families. But to redeem the broken ones. To show us that no matter how far we've drifted, we can always come home. Because Christmas is proof that love still finds its way. Through locked doors and silent rooms. A prayer for forgiveness. Lord, you know how hard it is to forgive. You know the pain that still feels fresh. The betrayal that still stings. The silence that still feels loud. I want to forgive. But sometimes my heart resists. So teach me how. Not because they deserve it. But because you forgave me first. Soften my heart, Lord. Remove the bitterness I've been nursing like a wound. Replace resentment with mercy. And anger with understanding. Remind me that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing. Freeing myself to love again. To live again. To believe again. And if they never say, I'm sorry, help me to forgive anyway. Because peace isn't found in their apology. It's found in your presence. Amen. The Christmas table. Imagine it for a moment. A long table, candles flickering. Plates waiting. The smell of warmth and grace in the air. That's what God prepares for his children. Even the ones who've wandered. Every broken family on earth is a reflection of the family God longs to restore. He sets the table not for the perfect, but for the willing. For the ones who've hurt and been hurt. For the ones who can't find the right words, but still hope for healing. And at that table, there's always an extra chair. Maybe it's for the one who left. Maybe it's for the one who can't forgive. Maybe it's for you. Because grace always saves a seat. When grace walks back home, there comes a moment, quiet and holy. When grace decides to walk back home, it doesn't always arrive through grand gestures or big words. Sometimes it comes as a phone call. Sometimes as a letter. Sometimes as a simple, trembling hi after years of silence. But when it comes, everything changes. Because grace carries what pride cannot. It bridges the gaps that anger built. It rebuilds what shame tore down. And when it finally reaches the doorstep of a broken family, it knocks softly, whispering, it's safe to love again. The prodigal heart. In every family, there's someone who walked away. And someone who waited for their return. Maybe that person is you. Maybe you left to protect your heart. Or because the pain felt heavier than love. Or maybe you're the one who's been waiting. Checking your phone. Replaying old conversations. Hoping for reconciliation that never seems to come. But Christmas is the story of both hearts. The one who left and the one who stayed. Because on that night in Bethlehem, God didn't wait for humanity to come home. He came to us. He crossed the distance first. He became the first to say, I forgive you. That's why every story of healing begins with grace making the first move. A prayer for the one who left. Lord. For the one who walked away. The one who couldn't stay. The one who didn't know how to fix it. I lift them to you. Wherever they are tonight. Let them feel your presence reaching them. Remind them that no distance is too far. No silence too deep. No failure too final. Call them home, Lord. Not just to their family, but to you. Let this Christmas be their turning point. Let them see that love was never lost. It was waiting. And for the ones who were left behind, wrap them in peace. Heal the ache of missing someone they still love. Remind them that waiting is not wasted when it's done in faith. Amen. The miracle of a softened heart. The hardest miracle to believe in is not walking on water or parting the sea. It's when a hardened heart begins to soften again. When resentment starts to fade. When tears fall after years of pretending. When you suddenly feel compassion for the same person who once broke you. That's the miracle of Christmas. God turning stone into flesh, hurt into hope, and strangers back into family. Maybe this year, your miracle isn't a gift under the tree. Maybe it's the courage to forgive. Maybe it's the decision to reach out. Maybe it's peace finally returning after a long winter. A reflection, the light in the window. In some homes, families place a candle in the window on Christmas Eve. It's a tradition that goes back centuries. A symbol of welcome. A silent message to loved ones far away. There's still a place for you here. That light is what Christmas is about. Because that's exactly what God did. He lit the world with His Son. To say to humanity, there's still a place for you with me. If you've been holding back, if pride or pain has kept you from reaching out, light that candle in your heart tonight. You don't need to have the right words. You don't even need to know what to say. Just decide to love again. That's where healing begins. A prayer for reconciliation. Lord, you are the God of restoration. You mend what people break. You bring life where bitterness once lived. I ask for your healing touch over my family tonight. Over the wounds that time hasn't healed. Over the conversations we still avoid. Over the love that feels buried under years of hurt. Lord, breathe peace into our home again. Let this Christmas not be another silent one. Let it be the year where hearts soften. Where calls are made. Where forgiveness flows like light through the darkness. Bring us back together, not through guilt or fear, but through your overwhelming love. Let every wall built by pride crumble at your name. Let every closed door open in humility. And let every heart, no matter how distant, feel the warmth of coming home again. Amen. The gift of imperfect love. Maybe your family will never look perfect. Maybe there will still be misunderstandings, differences, or unhealed scars. But that's okay. Because love was never about perfection. It was about persistence. Love stays. Love tries again. Love chooses grace even when it's hard. And that's what makes it holy. Even the night Jesus was born wasn't perfect. It was noisy, dirty, chaotic. But it was holy. So let your family be imperfect and holy too. Let your home be filled not with flawless peace, but with honest love. The kind that says, I'm here, and I still believe in us. A prayer for healing the home. Lord, step into every home that feels divided tonight. Into the living rooms where tension lives. Into the kitchens where silence has replaced laughter. Into the bedrooms where tears fall unseen. Bring your peace, Lord. Not the fragile kind that avoids truth, but the lasting kind that comes from forgiveness. Remind every heart that we belong not because we are perfect, but because we are loved. Let every wall become a bridge. Let every old memory be healed by new mercy. Let every home become a Bethlehem again. A place where love is born in humble hearts. Amen. The Christmas morning after. There's something sacred about the morning after Christmas. The lights still glow faintly. The world is quiet. And in that stillness, something new has begun. That's how healing works. It rarely shouts. It begins softly. In unseen places. And grows brighter with every act of grace. Maybe you won't fix everything this year. Maybe some things will take time. but every step toward forgiveness. Every prayer whispered for peace. Every tear shed in surrender is a seed of restoration. And when the next Christmas comes, you'll look back and realize God was rebuilding your home all along. Final Christmas blessing. May this Christmas be the turning point for your family. May the walls that divide crumble in grace, and the silence between you be filled with peace. May your home echo again with laughter, and your table overflow not with perfection, but with love that endures. Because love, real love, was born in a manger, and it still finds its way to the broken places. You are not too far gone. Your family is not beyond repair. And your story is not over. It's being rewritten by the hands of the One who restores all things. Amen. If this prayer touched your heart tonight, take a moment to click the first pinned comment below and discover Heaven's Code, a devotional created to guide you through emotional healing, faith restoration, and the miracles of God's timing. It's the perfect companion for families seeking peace this Christmas, and for hearts ready to believe in love again. And before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more Christmas prayers that bring comfort, hope, and divine healing to your soul. Because no matter how broken things may seem, God is still in the business of putting families back together. Amen.